Welcome to Action Recap, the place where we break down your favorite action movies, fast, thrilling, and spoiler-packed. Hit subscribe and let's dive into the action. The movie begins with Jen Kornfeldt feeling adrift and disappointed. She has just experienced a breakup that has rattled her sense of stability, and she travels to the south of France with her well-meaning but overbearing parents in hopes of clearing her mind. She isn't searching for adventure or romance. She wants quiet, simplicity, and a chance to recalibrate. Yet the moment she steps into a hotel elevator and meets Spencer Amaze, the path of her life subtly hooks onto a new direction. Spencer is attractive, athletic, and effortlessly confident. Their first exchange is brief but sparks a sense of possibility in Jen that she had not anticipated. What she doesn't know is that Spencer is a professional assassin working for a secretive government contractor, and he is in the middle of a highly sensitive assignment. Spencer, for his part, is already growing weary of his line of work. His job has conditioned him to be alert for danger in every corner, to trust no one, and to eliminate threats before they have the chance to become real. When he sees Jen, nervous, open, genuine, he feels something he hasn't felt in years, an urge to lead a normal life. As their paths cross again at the resort, he is drawn toward her in a way that has nothing to do with strategy or skill. He makes the unexpected decision to step away from the mission he was assigned and instead invites her out. Their chemistry is immediate and Jen, despite initial awkwardness, finds herself enjoying the spontaneity and charm he brings into her vacation. What begins as a flirtation transforms quickly into a deeper connection. Spencer allows himself to imagine a life without covert operations, without endlessly being on the run, and without handling weapons as casually as household objects. He makes the pivotal choice to abandon his assassin career, quietly severing ties with his employers without any disclosure to Jen. For the first time in years, he visualizes himself as an ordinary man. They continue dating across continents, and Spencer eventually moves to the United States, where Jen lives. Within a surprisingly short period, their relationship grows into something substantial. Spencer proposes, and Jen, thrilled by the stability and affection she has found, readily accepts. Married life seems idyllic at first. They settle into a suburban neighborhood, surrounded by friendly neighbors and routines that contrast sharply with Spencer's past. Jen works at a technical firm while Spencer builds a career in construction design. To everyone around them, they are an ordinary married couple navigating everyday life, grocery shopping, anniversaries, awkward interactions with in-laws, small disagreements about housework. Spencer works hard to maintain this image, meticulously avoiding triggers from his former life. Yet underneath the calm surface, he keeps his reflexes sharp and his vigilance intact. Even after 3 years of domestic comfort, the shadow of his past never fully releases its grip. Jen's parents frequently visit, especially her father, who is suspicious by nature and overly invested in monitoring her relationship. Spencer tries to play the role of the agreeable son-in-law, though this requires constant restraint. Jen's mother, on the other hand, has a bubbly enthusiasm that often overwhelms Spencer but keeps the household lively. Despite these small stresses, Spencer and Jen genuinely love each other and remain committed to the life they have created together. Everything changes on the morning of Spencer's birthday. He receives a cryptic message from his former employer, implying unfinished business. The message rattles Spencer because it suggests that his past has not been as distant as he hoped. He chooses not to tell Jen, fearing the fallout of revealing the life he once led and believing he can handle whatever is coming without involving her. But secrets have a way of unraveling in the worst possible moments. Soon after, while Jen is busy preparing for a surprise birthday celebration, Spencer is attacked by a coworker who reveals himself to be an undercover assassin. The altercation forces Spencer to break his vow never to kill again. Jen, returning home unexpectedly, walks in on the chaos, and Spencer has no choice but to reveal the truth. Devastated, confused, and furious, Jen struggles to comprehend that her loving, mild-mannered husband once lived as a trained killer. She quickly cycles between panic and disbelief, especially as Spencer calmly explains that more attackers are likely on their way and that they must leave immediately if they want to survive. Without giving her time to process anything, Spencer drags her into a high-stakes escape. Their quiet suburban neighborhood quickly transforms into a battleground as seemingly ordinary acquaintances turn into paid assassins. Friends, co-workers, and neighbors, people the couple interacted with for years, reveal themselves to be operatives who had been planted in Spencer's vicinity, waiting for the moment when their services would be activated. The sudden betrayal from familiar faces makes the situation even more disorienting for Jen, who can barely reconcile the warm smiles of her neighbors with the weapons they now wield. They jump into their car, which immediately becomes the target of multiple ambushes. Jen, who has never held a gun or engaged in violence, is propelled into a frantic state as Spencer navigates the attacks with practiced precision. She oscillates between terror, outrage, and incredulous humor, questioning everything about their marriage while simultaneously trying to survive. Spencer attempts to reassure her while fending off attackers, but every revelation he shares only deepens her sense of betrayal. As they flee through the city, Jen's phone buzzes constantly with messages from her parents, who are obliviously preparing for the birthday party. Spencer and Jen momentarily take refuge at a friend's house, only to realize that the friend is also part of the network hunting Spencer. Each new betrayal confirms that Spencer's past has infiltrated every corner of their life. Jen struggles not only with the danger but with the knowledge that Spencer kept such a monumental secret from her. Yet her survival instincts, previously dormant, begin to surface. The couple eventually decides that they must retrieve a safety deposit box Spencer had prepared years earlier in case the past ever resurfaced. The journey through the bank becomes another frantic encounter as more assassins reveal themselves. Jen, though terrified, proves far more capable under pressure than she imagined. At one point she is forced to wield a gun to protect Spencer, shaking but determined. The shift in her demeanor marks a turning point. She is no longer a bystander but a vital partner in their survival. After obtaining the necessary supplies and information, Spencer realizes that the bounty on his head is far more substantial and widespread than he originally thought. It becomes clear that someone with substantial resources is orchestrating the entire operation. The attacks culminate back at their home, where the assassins converge. Jen's parents arrive unexpectedly, which complicates matters further. Her father, armed and oddly calm, reveals that he suspected Spencer's background long ago. In a surprising twist, he discloses that he had once been approached by the same organization that trained Spencer, though he declined involvement. His familiarity with covert operations becomes crucial during the final confrontation. The final standoff involves multiple attackers breaching the house and the surrounding yard. The scene mixes violence with chaotic domestic interruptions from Jen's mother, who remains hilariously oblivious to the extent of the danger. Ultimately, the orchestrator of the bounty reveals himself through a communication Spencer intercepts. It turns out that Spencer's former boss, who had maintained the illusion of severing ties, had placed the bounty as part of a larger scheme tied to internal corruption within the organization. Spencer, who had once believed he could exit quietly, realizes that his attempt to escape the assassin world was doomed from the start. The only solution is to eliminate the remaining threats and expose the conspiracy. After the final wave of attackers is neutralized, Spencer and Jen find themselves bruised, exhausted, and surrounded by the shambles of their once peaceful home. In the aftermath, they confront what truly matters to them. Jen, though still processing the shock, recognizes that Spencer's desire for a normal life was sincere. Spencer, for his part, finally understands that keeping secrets from the person he loves only undermine the very life he was trying to build. Their mutual survival becomes an unspoken reaffirmation of their bond. As they rebuild their life, they adopt new boundaries, new honesty, and a more united front. Spencer fully steps away from covert operations, and Jen learns to live with the complicated reality of who her husband once was. Their neighborhood, shaken by the violence, gradually returns to normalcy, though now with a wary respect for the couple who endured the chaos.